Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we're doing it, unfortunately, remote. Sometimes
Boo. Boo hiss.
sometimes life comes up, but there ain't no stopping us. That's what I'll say. We're still got to pump out some episodes. So life has come up, but still got some fun. So today we're talking about What the Bat, a game. Again, yeah, you're instantly chuckling.
Well, yeah, their theme song is pretty. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, well, right off the top, I don't know if they're saying "What the Bat" in it. It sounds a little bit more like what the fuck?
Fuck. No, I actually if you listen real carefully, they are saying "What the bat." But if you told me that they slid in a few "What the fucks," I'd believe it.
Especially when it's going wicked fast.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, so the game What the Bat, made by developer and publisher Triband, it just launched on the official MetaQuest store November 17th. And it's got, 29 ratings total with only 21 written reviews. And it's, we'll get into the problems with this, but it's $24.99 on the official MetaQuest store. And this is a game that we actually talked about on one of our Monday morning news editions, maybe 3-4 months ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of took different camps. And I was on the camp that this game was going to be a hit. It's just going to work so good. And you were a little bit more skeptical. And I won't lie, when I saw the release price was $24.99, I was like, damn, I wish I took the other side on that.
Well, I mean, did you say the ratings? You did not, did you?
No, yeah, I said 29 total ratings and 21 written.
With a 4.6.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't say the star rating though. That's a good catch. Nope, 4.6 overall.
Yeah, so I mean, it's coming out of the gate with a strong, star rating, we'll say. But, time's going to tell because 29, you can't really judge. I know if I had a game, I would probably be begging all my friends and family to, please review it.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting much more reviews for the official MetaQuest store. 29 ratings and, almost, 2 weeks is not that much.
No. So, I mean, it'll show over the test of time. But, I mean, and time is probably in their favor because if they can get more content in there as more people are exposed to it, then won't balk at the sticker price, I suppose.
Yeah, it's definitely got some sticker shock, for VR standards. Like, if we're going to compare it to console games, $24.99 is not much. But when you compare it to other games on the Quest store, it's hard to justify that $24.99 currently, I believe.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, I thought 14, I think you said you went a little lower in your head, but I was like, 14 for $14.99 for what it is today would seem like really reasonable. But I mean, they have their reasons. They're giving you, 100 different levels that you can play.
Mm-hmm. They say, on the store page that there's about 4 hours of content for it.
I'm gonna cut you off on that one. I think I got through it in about 2.
Yeah, I almost beat the whole thing in one session, and then I stopped on the last levels.
But I could see where maybe you could really drag it out to that 4-hour mark.
Yeah, but it's again, even at the most 4 hours for $24.99 just seems high.
It's right now in its current form. It's a tough sell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll admit it, and I think most of it has to probably do with the sticker shock more than anything wrong with the gameplay or the game itself or the future. Where the game's going to go in the future. But again, we'll just have to see with time with this one, I think.
Well, I think if it was $9.99 or $14.99, I think we would see much more total ratings.
Yeah, definitely out of the gate. I think so.
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you, if I saw $9.99, I would have bought this the day it was released, even knowing that there's 4 hours of content. But when I went to the store page, I saw $24.99, and then 4 hours of content. I was like, ooh, it's a little bit more of a tough sell.
No, I get it.
But
this is one that, at the end of the day, I still want to revisit down the road because I'm going to be curious.
Yeah, they say they're adding more content, and it's a really fun concept. I will say the time that I did have in the game was very enjoyable. It's called What the Bat, and you're literally a character with 2 arms that are bats.
Baseball bats.
Baseball bats. That's it. Yeah, not.
Yeah, I was explaining it to someone else tonight too.
specify
They
baseball bats.
thought I was talking bats, like flying bats, like your hands had flying bats on it.
No,
Like,
I didn't even think of
the
that.
baseball bats.
No, you have much more variety of options if you have baseball bat arms, but it's kind of like a puzzle game, I guess would be the best. Puzzle mini game challenge
Yeah.
game,
I mean,
I
you
guess.
say you're going to do batting, cooking, shooting, smashing,
Petting
parking,
dogs.
painting, pickling, petting. I like that
Petting.
it just said petting, but really you're going to be petting a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And so much more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different varieties of challenges.
Yeah, I mean, they say there's over 100 levels, and that makes sense because the way it goes is like they kind of break the levels into sections. There might be like anywhere from like, I don't know, 5 or 6 levels up to like 10 levels in a section. And then they're each kind of like progressive through life, I guess. You kind of start in baby stages.
Yeah, you're a baby.
And you go all the way down to the not to the end of life, but to the end of I don't want to spoil what the last stage is of all of them, you know?
No, please
But
don't.
It's progressive, so it's silly. You might do stuff like hit a button that pops up a baseball, and then you have to hit the baseball. And pretty much all the puzzles involve trying to find or hit a golden trophy. So yeah, you might hit the baseball at the golden trophy, or there's endless possibilities with this. You might paint on the wall with your arms, and you have to dip your hands in paint. There's some you have to scan items coming like at a grocery store, like you're a worker there.
Yeah, and they have the scanner taped onto the end of your bat
Yeah.
because you'll never have the hands.
No, and sometimes you have to put items into the correct, shaped spot, and you have to use your hands smartly to put them in. There's some puzzle elements too. You got to be strategic on some of them. Some of them are a little bit more straightforward. They're like brute force-ish, like, hitting the baseball and breaking it. Some you have to kind of really stop and look and figure out, all right, how do I get electricity to all the different parts to then activate, the switch that gets the trophy. Some of them stumped me for about 5 or 10 minutes.
No, there were a few that I struggled with. For the most part, I don't think it was too difficult.
No, for the most part, it would kind of go like I'd blow through several levels, like boom, 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 so fast. And then someone would stump me, and I'd be like, I'm really getting stumped on this game. I can't believe it. And then, 5 minutes, I would figure it out. And it was usually something stupid, like I couldn't figure out how to get electricity was usually the ones that stumped me.
Oh, they did a great job in getting you to overthink.
Oh, 100%. Because
it was one, and I'm definitely not going to spoil it in any capacity, but there was one puzzle that I spent, probably 3 or 4 minutes on. And then
it sticks out to you?
Yeah, I looked back and was like, there's no way I could be this stupid. There's no way. I'm wasting all this time. It blew. So there was a couple of those.
Yeah.
But one will stand out more than the rest for sure.
And it's interesting too, because in each level, which you select the level by taking your baseball bat and pressing down on it, and it'll start the level. Each level has like multiple rounds in it, I guess you could say. It starts simple, and then you might do 3 or 4 different challenges in one level, but they're all kind of related to the same gameplay element. And I think the concept of what they're going for is that each level has its own, unique gameplay to it.
Yeah, that would seem to be the case.
There's some repeating elements, so it's not 100%, each level you'll never see that gameplay element again, but
like hitting a ball,
hammering stuff in. Yeah, hitting a ball comes up a lot. That's probably the most recurring one.
I found the physics to be very forgiving.
100%.
I was comparing hitting the ball to one of the games in Loco Dojo where you gotta hit the sea creatures onto the whale's face there or whatever, as the other one tries to clear it off, and it's like and they give you a big wooden oar to hit with, and it's hard as hell to get the good accuracy.
No, there's definitely some aim assist. There's sometimes that you might have to hit 6 different trophies in the same round.
Yeah.
Or something shooting at you and you have to hit baseballs to block them. And there's been so many times that it's like, there's no way that I hit that. There's no way I should have hit the trophy, but you'll hit it and you'll just see it perfectly glide.
Yeah,
So,
for the distance you're actually hitting that ball to what you're trying to hit. You know in your head there's no way you just did that.
yeah, the aim assist is very, very forgiving.
But I think the overall theme I took from it is they just want people to go in there and have some laughs and some fun and, don't take shit too serious. And
Oh my God, it's a very enjoyable experience the whole way. The aesthetics of the game is very goofy. I mean, it's so silly. The whole environment, the characters, they're like, there's a giant elephant imaginary friend that's with you the whole time. And there's so many levels that have mirrors. If you notice, at no point in the later stages, if the mirror there, I was never able to see the imaginary friend in the mirror at any point in my character's, I guess, life.
Yeah, there's some tricks with the mirror.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that comes up in puzzles. There's some puzzles that they make you use it, and then there were sometimes I just noticed a mirror there and it never really came up. And I did notice that in some levels, like maybe I accidentally hit the wrong thing and then something came running out and then I would get an achievement. So this happened to me a bunch in the game. So it seems like a lot of levels have hidden like meta quest achievements in them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if every level does. I didn't spend enough time just, killing everything in sight and
well, they don't do they just do like a 1-star type reward factor.
That's actually kind
like
of
the 3-star, you got to earn it for the best. And
mm-hmm. That's something I would definitely kind of hit them for. I think the game would have much more replayability if it was the 3-star method, because all the time in those games, like I'll replay a level 5-6 times to try to get 3 stars because I get like OCD about it.
No, of course. Well, yeah, and usually if you get 3 stars, you get something for it too. So there's usually some reward system for it.
And then you think of like Iron Guard VR that not only does the 3-star system, but then has a leaderboard. You're gonna redo that level just to get on the leaderboard, and sometimes I can get obsessive with that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so many of these levels, it would be, I feel, simple to how you would do the stars. So time is one of them, like how fast can you do it, but then also like take the baseball one where any ones where you're hitting a baseball, do it in under X amount of hits. Boom. It takes you 8 hits, that's 1 star. Anything more than 8 hits is 1 star. 4 hits, 2 stars. If you do it, you don't miss any, boom, 3 stars, something like that.
Mm-hmm. I kind of, even going into it, all I knew about it was the conversation that we had when we were talking about it on the news episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was going to be more of like, you live your life with, granted, they're taking you on a journey of, you could say your life, but I thought it was going to be more of like a life sim.
A little bit more free roam.
Yeah, kind of like, you have certain things you have to do. You have to sleep and make your bed and eat. But I didn't know it was really more of like a puzzle-based type thing.
Yeah, puzzle mini game is the best way I would put it, because like not all of them are even puzzles. Some of them are just more challenges,
Yeah, it was creative. I had fun.
Yeah.
Sadly, I don't know. I won't go back to it till I know there's more content added, because the truth is there's no real reason to.
Yeah, there's no incentive, and I think something just as simple as a 3-star method, I don't even know if we'd be done with the game yet, because there's over 100 levels, and if it wasn't easy to get 3 stars in all, every single one, man, who knows how much longer that the whole game would have taken me versus just fly through a whole stage in, I don't know what, 20 minutes, easy.
Yeah, it depends. Again, I think it only took me a couple hours to start to finish it.
Yeah, like I said,
I went into it with intent. I didn't. So
with intent, just let's see how fast I can get through this. It says 4 hours of gameplay. Challenge accepted.
I was like, I do what they're asking me to do, and it gives me the star, moves me on to the next one, and it was. I liked the creativity of each thing, though. You think of that in perspective. It's like they're giving you 100 different activities to do. And even though there's some similarities, they got to change, obviously, some stuff. So,
no, I'll say I enjoyed every moment in this game, even the ones that were challenging or the ones that was like, it really tripped me up. It was fun. Like there wasn't any moment that's not fun. I'm not going to say at any point it's a bad game. I think my biggest criticism is just that the cost doesn't really match the VR market, I'll say.
No, I mean, we need to talk to them and figure out how that one came to be, because we've actually questioned price of games for someone else's, and at the end of the day, they were pretty much admitting like, all right, I didn't know. It seemed like a good price.
Mm-hmm.
Some people said that's what I should charge, so I did.
Yeah, they had a very successful game on the Apple Store. They had a mobile game. So.
Oh yeah, What the Bat? Yeah, but it wasn't What the Bat.
Golf.
It was
What the Golf. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think this is their first endeavor into VR as well. It's possible that they're just like, well, I don't know, whatever VR games to go for. Versus to us who we play VR games a bunch.
It's a real who's to say, because I always thought pricing a game is real. There's all this data and all this shit goes
sometimes
into
there
it,
is.
And then, well, it depends on the studio.
Yeah. Sometimes there's not.
Then you find out that it's not always that way.
Nope.
Especially with smaller studios, they don't. And I mean, really, a lot of these people, I mean, they're making these VR games. This is the first time this VR game is being priced in the world of VR.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough to really
set a standard.
I won't argue the price, though.
Yeah.
It's on the steepage.
Yeah.
A little bit of the steepage side.
For 4 hours of content. Now, I know that they're planning on adding more, but, we got to talk about it in its current state, how it is today.
Mm-hmm.
Not, well, they're promising that one day they'll add a feature or more. That doesn't work like that, The game's out now.
Oh, yeah. No, but, I could beat a dead horse to death about it, but I don't want to.
Yeah, no, well, because in the end, I also don't want to sound like a hater either, because I don't want to say like it's a bad game. If you spent your money on it, you're going to be pissed. You're not worth it. As long as you understand it's,
No,
on the high
they're
end.
in full disclosure. I mean, they put it right on their game description that
4 hours of content.
4 hours of content. So,
Take
that should
breaks.
take away any shock.
They say take breaks.
Yeah.
That's what it says on the store. It's like too much
Do it in
VR
4
can make
settings.
you batty.
It'll make you batty. Dude, their sound score for the game was top notch.
Yeah, it says on the store page itself, original soundtrack, and it's
it stands out. It's not like, well, the theme song.
Yeah, what the bat
is not subtle at all.
No.
But I mean, if you listen to everything from start to finish, it's pretty intense. It's cool.
Yeah.
No, they really nailed it with the sound of the game.
Yeah, and what I'll say is maybe that's, who knows? I don't know what it costs to make a sound score like that. Maybe that's part of that $24.99.
Everything is part of the $24.99.
Yeah, and
everything.
Again, so it's not photorealistic graphics either. But I think that for a game like this, I think how they went with the graphics works perfect for it. Like I think that they nailed the aesthetic feel with the sounds, with the environment, the art style. It's goofy. It's fun. Like I don't know. I had a blast with how the game actually looked, and it's very like happy feeling. It's silly. It's goofy. So that, I don't know. Aesthetically, they nailed it. Gameplay wise, I mean, it was really fun. It was a fun game. It's not like it was a bad game. There's none of the puzzles that I was like, that was stupid. I shouldn't have. I can't believe they did that. It was all silly. It was all fun. I laughed the whole way. But $24.99. I agree. I'm not going to beat a
You're
dead
just
horse.
not going to let it go, are you?
No.
From start to finish.
Too funny though. But
no, I mean, I have very little criticism at the end of the day of it, to be honest with you. I mean, Is it going to be the highest score? No, but the criticism for that is, it's not like the game sucks.
No. Not at all.
I mean, and I was pretty critical when I just didn't get the concept when you were telling me about it. I mean, it's even recorded, so you'll see it on my face. Like, what? The hell
what are you going to do with 2 arms back?
Did not think I would have fun, but I actually had fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of my problem is I want to have more fun. So, I mean, conceptually, they've got something going on, but I want kind of more of it, because now I'm done with it, and I'm like, shit. I mean,
there's no reason to go back.
I could go back and do stuff again, but it's like, there's no like real purpose, so I just want more.
Mm-hmm.
More
Again,
content, please. I'm wicked selfish. Game just came out,
No, and I don't think we could say enough. It is a good game. I didn't have any glitches with it either. Did you?
No, No, I thought for sure I would with just some of the swinging and stuff, but no.
And the fact that there's over 100 puzzles, it's like, all right, the game just dropped. You'd think one of them would be a little buggy, but I didn't have any issues.
No, again, the sound, the music score, the sound score, and
The environment noises even.
the functionality was like pretty spot on.
Mm-hmm. And I think part of the reason I just want a 3-star system is just for my own.
Because you want a reason to go play it again.
Because it was a great game. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be saying
No,
that
dude,
if I was like,
I get it. When we were both playing it and we were like, shit, I wish there was like an incentive program to force me to go back and do it again.
Some of the levels I didn't do great and it took me a while to beat. Not like I kept failing. It's like I just missed a lot of shots or whatever. You know, it took me a couple minutes to figure out the puzzle, whatever it might be. It's like, oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve
a star.
Yeah, I should be having 1 or 2 out of 3 stars at the most. You know, this isn't like not all puzzle wins are equal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and this is one of the few games I'd say is pretty like all ages.
Yeah.
From you know, what's the start age for VR 13?
13, yeah.
We'll say from 13 to 90. I don't think anybody would, you know, kids probably freaking love it. It'd be funny as hell.
Well, I'll say right now, if any parent's looking for like a silly single player game to get their
oh
kid,
yeah, that's not like
that's a no brainer. Then the game is an absolute must buy. It's very family friendly.
if your kid's running around saying what the fuck, then that's just how we heard the theme song.
Dude, I remember once you pointed it out to me, I couldn't unhear it.
Yeah, that's what sucks is I had to now unhear what I put in my own head.
And then you put into mine.
And
I was
then,
like, damn it, it does sound like that.
Yeah, I know they're saying what the bat though.
And you said it the best. If they slipped in 1 or 2 in there, yeah, I'd totally believe it. Yeah, 100%.
Wouldn't be upset about it. But it is to me, it's a family friendly game. It's not, you know, it's not like toxic or.
There's no like questionable puzzles like, oh, you know, that puzzle was a little sexual or anything. No, there's nothing like that at all. It's very family friendly. Yeah, a little innuendos. No, not that I caught at least. And
no.
usually I'm pretty quick with that stuff.
I had a fun experience with it.
Mm-hmm. And you get what I mean?
And again, I didn't think I would have fun playing a game where your hands are bats. I was like, this is gonna.
I was on camp that it was gonna be a good game. Because like if you tell me I'm making a game where my hands are baseball bats, and this is what I'm gonna base the whole game off of, I'm like this is gonna be gold. It's gonna be beautiful, and like I think I was correct there, you know.
Yeah,
and I think that's just part of. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I was just gonna say I think that's part of the reason I was so critical because I was like, this is a game that I wanna. I wish I could just tell everybody go out and buy. It's a must own. If it was $9.99, I would say. You're gonna have a blast with it. $14.99, you know. So I think that's why the only reason I'm so critical because I'm on team what the bat. It was, you know, I thought it was gonna be great, and it was great. You know, you get what I mean about the aesthetics too. It just works so good for that style of game.
Yeah, no, their complete package is together nicely. Mm-hmm. You know, going into it. I mean, you can look at the preview. It's like you're not gonna get award-winning graphics. But if you really take everything with the sounds and the gameplay and the music score and put it all together, it all works. Mm-hmm. And it all feeds off each other to make the other experience that much better. So I give them credit. I'm really curious where they're really going with it. Like every once in a while we talk to a lot of developers, but every once in a while I'll like really want to know. Like, where are they? Some of the developers you already know. They've made it public. Like, this is exactly what we're going to do. But, like, what's the 2-year plan for what the bat?
Right? I think I saw them responding to some reviews on the store saying, hey, yeah, we're looking at more content and whatnot. But what's that? What is that more content?
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
You know, how much is that? Is that one more level? You look into...
Is it paid DLC?
That's actually a good question as well. Now
that was one of my major questions.
Mm-hmm. If it's paid DLC, then I'll be shocked. I think
on the fence.
You expect it to be?
To a degree. I could see, you know, I mean, let's be honest, if here's 100 levels, $9.99. And I only say $9.99 based on the current price of the game. So I'm not going to think it would be like $4.99 because then people would be like, "What the hell? I paid $25 for 100. Now you're giving it to me for $5." But I would expect the first one to not. And then if I were to guess, I would say the potential exists, but we'd have to talk to them to know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just making noise.
Just speculating. That's all.
I'm just starting trouble.
Just starting trouble. I think free updates for this game would do a lot. And
yeah, and this is gonna be one of those word of mouth games where you know, I mean, I didn't know about it until you said something about it. You know, we had difference of opinions going into it for sure, but it's your word of mouth that got me to go, all right, yeah, I'll do it. I could have pitched it a fit and been like, no, dude, I'm not playing a game where my hands are bats. This is stupid. But it's not. It's funny.
It works.
Mm-hmm.
They
don't know how, but it does.
There's something.
Who would have thunk?
It has that feel to it. It's like just like Walkabout Mini Golf doesn't have the best graphics ever, but you go into it and you instantly go, oh, this is gonna work good.
They're pretty much the king of the king of knowing how to do that.
Mm-hmm. And it's at that mood.
I think it's cool that and I'm not saying they're trying to emulate it at all, but we know other studios doing stuff, but it's a formula that's just, you got to put all those pieces in the right place for it to work.
There's
if you look at who they have on staff, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. There's something about VR that more than consoles, if you go into a game and it has like bright, happy aesthetics, I feel like it does so much for the enjoyment of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're so immersed into it, it's like now you feel good while you're playing it.
I wonder if multiplayer is ever going to be an option down the road with this.
Ooh, I wonder how that would work.
Yeah,
have to both
multiplayer missions or some shit.
Have to both hit the ball. Something. And so I mentioned that there's like stages, and each stage has a bunch of different levels in it. At the end of every stage, you take a selfie of your person at their progressive, their current life cycle or their current, life events. So when you take a selfie, you might in some of the levels see these selfies elsewhere in the game. It's actually pretty cool. I enjoyed that little touch a lot.
Yeah, I don't want to give away the ending, but I think they did a good job.
No, they did a great job with that part.
Character's a little weird looking, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I wish that I got a little bit more of the lore of that character. What do their parents look like? Is one just, got 4 limbs of baseball bats or something like that? Like what's their
baseball
parents look
legs?
Like? Is it just a single genetic mutation? Like what happened? I want a little bit more of the lore. What's my character's name?
Right?
I don't even know.
Batty.
Man, I grew up with them. Brushed their teeth. Woke up. Got their first jobs.
Dude, the whole concept is just over the top ridiculous. Imagine going into this game like wicked serious.
Yep.
Like, dude, this was not realistic at all.
This would never happen.
I didn't find the realism of these bat hands at all.
That fish would be smelling.
It's meant to have fun.
Yeah, it's over the top goofy. We didn't help each other with puzzles or any of the rounds or anything like that. But for the majority of it, we were on party chat, and I caught us laughing. I would hear you. Yeah. It's just silly. It's fun.
If you could play it and not laugh, then you probably don't have a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's put together. I mean, and that's kind of my takeaway from the first, overall experience is like, okay, I started to finish it. I had a really good time and a good experience. So, I mean, if that was the goal to provide you that, then I'd have to say they succeeded.
Mm-hmm. And like we said a little bit earlier, like the perfect family-friendly game. It's perfect for all ages. Everybody can enjoy it. Again, you can trust it. It's good. So I don't know. It's an interesting concept. I don't want to say must play in its current state for cost, but if you're just like looking for a goofy game, I'd recommend it.
Oh yeah, be the first one of your friends to get it, and then you can spread the word that hey, you got to try this. You really got to. I don't know. I wish them the best, and I hope the word spreads, but we'll see.
Yeah, I was a little shocked at the review number for 29 total reviews. currently as of the
I
time
thought
of this
there was
recording.
a little hype coming into it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no,
But I think they're in it for the long haul. So I mean, they lay their foundation now.
get their feet wet.
You can always lower prices. You can't raise them.
Mhm.
So they can do what they need to do. But I mean, if they're really in it for the long haul and they're like, oh, no. What the bat is, like, we already got the secret headset you guys don't know about. We're already working on that. And I think the pro headset users that could play this will benefit even better because of the full tracking for some of the swinging you do. I was coming from behind the head too much.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I thought of was like, oh, I wouldn't have this problem with those controllers, would I?
Those fancy dancy controllers that it's still a little tempting. You
I
know,
wouldn't offend.
You know what would sell me on them right now? If I knew
they were $99.
If I knew that they were better than the Quest 3 controllers that's going to come next year, and if I knew that they were compatible with the Quest 3 controllers. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I would be like, all right, I'll just get them now. I'll use them with my Quest 2, and then they're still going to be better than the Quest 3. I'll just boom, the day I get the Quest 3, I'll just use those.
Well,
so that would sell me. It's just the uncertainty of what's to come that I'm like, I don't want to
bring up a good point because usually it's the new stuff that's compatible with the old stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, the Quest
2
3
controllers compatible with the Pro?
No.
Then there you go. You just answered your own question.
I know.
So I wouldn't expect the Pro controllers to be compatible with the.
It's a tougher sell knowing that it's almost
unless
the
they
cost
will
of
be because they've already got these controllers that people freaking love more than the head unit.
The only way I could think of it that it would be is if the controllers for the Pro are better than the Quest 3. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept that compatibility. But it's just I don't know right now. So
ask Bradley.
Bradley, what have you heard?
Send Bradley a message.
Yeah.
I would trust that source.
Yeah. I haven't heard him say anything on it yet, but I'm still on the fence because it's almost the cost of the Quest. What the Quest 3 is going to be, you know?
Yeah. So I think the Pro users will have
a little benefit from that.
A little benefit from some of the mini games, but nothing other than like 2 that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I was coming from the back of my head swinging, so I was like, shit.
What's cool too is if you fail a mission, it doesn't instantly restart it. Always, sometimes it will, depending on what the fail is. I don't want to give spoilers on that. But you'll know you're failed based off of like a fail noise. It'll be like, You're like, all right, I got to restart the mission. So silly.
The controls are simple.
Yeah, you would just press like B and or the top button on your right controller. Boom, brings you back to the menu. Then you press it again, and it restarts at the last checkpoint.
Over. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say is if you go back to the menu and then reselect the level, you don't really want to do that because if you just press the button twice, it'll bring you back to the level that the round of the level you left off on, I'll say. Because like I said, there's like multiple.
Yeah, you're never going to start farther back from whatever you were currently doing.
Mm-hmm. But if you go back to the menu and then you reselect it, instead of just pressing the button again to go right back, you'll start from that level's beginning again.
Correct.
I learned the hard way, unfortunately. I was like, no, why did I do that? So I always just press that button twice and boom, you almost have like checkpoints,
No, I found the interface was easy.
Very simple. I think
it was like very little learning curve. It's kind of obvious.
It's a good
fingies. So
I'd probably recommend it as like to somebody who's still getting used to VR and like too much movement things get a motion sick. It's this would be a great game.
Yeah, I didn't feel like there could be any possibility of getting motion sickness.
No, unless you're just like super new and super susceptible to everything. But like
and you pretty much don't move. You don't move at all. So I mean,
it's all stationary.
Might twist and turn, but there's no like walking around or flying and
no
tall buildings and
no. The most intense movement is things coming at you, or you hitting a baseball.
Yeah,
I think that there's one level to be snooty that your hands weren't bats. I think your hands were guns in one level. I was like, ooh, what is this? What, the gun?
Well, you know what's messed up?
What?
I'd probably have to replay that level to see because.
Ooh, were they guns on the bat?
Yeah, because the scanner for the grocery store one is it's a scanner taped on the end of the bat.
Yeah, maybe.
So, I mean,
maybe that's a good point.
so enwrapped into the what I paid no attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think at that point, to me, my bat hands were hands.
Yeah,
If
you
that
learn how
makes
to
any
use them.
sense.
You learn how to use them really good. Like I got really good at picking things up
Yeah.
to like because there's times that you need to move things and place them.
So if they ever were like, well, did you notice in level 3, game 6 that like your hands are actually mermaids? I'd be like, what? No, I thought they were bats. Okay, but again, just focused on the task at hand more than my bat hands.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing how fun it was doing all this stuff with bat hands.
Funner than I thought.
Yeah, so they did a great job. But
Yeah,
I think
was entertained.
Yeah, so hats off to them. I mean, I'm interested to see their next content, their future VR content, because they made a great VR game. If this is their first time doing VR development, I mean, there were no bugs. Like I said, it all functioned really good. It was very polished. So
let's be honest, 100 levels is
and no bugs that I found.
That's pretty intense. The beta testing for this must have been friggin' brutal.
Yeah, because like I've seen very hyped, polished games, that are very praised drop with a plethora of bugs.
Yeah, we've reviewed a few.
Mm-hmm. And
AAA one too.
In a game like this where it's puzzle based, the same concept applies to all puzzle games. They're almost the hardest to make because you can't have any glitches. Otherwise, it kind of ruins it. Yeah, imagine if there was one of the levels that, if you did it a certain way, you couldn't clear, and that's how most people tried to do it. It'd be like, oh no, this is problematic. So hats off to them. They made a very fun, polished game. Really, the only criticism that I have is no 3 stars or no like incentive to replay a level, challenge bases or anything. Mm-hmm. And then, I guess I'm a little salty about the $24.99.
No, I look, I get it, because one of the things that, and I know we both love to do it, is if we find a game that we had fun with or whatever, we really try to push it hard on people we know.
In our Discord, like Mother Gunship's a great example.
Try to get you to get out there and spend money. Yeah, Mother Gunship. I think everybody's bought that one now. Mm-hmm. They just need crossplay. So it becomes harder because you feel a little like,
well, I don't want to lie to anybody. I don't want anybody to hear me go, this is a must buy. It's worth every single cent. And then they blow through it and they go, well, now I can't trust Dscruffles anymore. I can't trust Stratus. They didn't tell me that, so I think that's part of it too, is we hold our words to a high standard, like you were kind of saying.
But it's full disclosure. So
yeah, no. Anything else you want to say before we get to our final thoughts and our review as well?
No, I look forward to them making more content, and would love to know when we can expect it and what that might be. And then most importantly, are we talking free DLC, paid DLC, and are they really in it for the long haul? Which I personally think they are.
Yeah, what's next?
I think they're creating a they're the only one who has the bat hand game going on. So
I would love
cornered the market.
Yeah, I would love to hear about, like you were saying, too, the beta testing process.
Oh my God. That many levels, dude. You're turning loose like dozens of people onto your game and saying, tell me where there's, and not everything that people find is really a glitch, even though they might say it is, but yeah, there must have been a lot of like back end work.
Or how about this? Imagine being the people whose job it is to sit down and go, we need 100 levels of different things to do with bat hands. Ready? Go. And you go, all right.
And keep it clean, family friendly.
All right, we could hammer stuff in. All right, well, how does this work, Just imagine the whole imagine the whole designing process of sitting down there and designing all of this just conceptually before you even start to, actually make the puzzle. Just thinking of it, it's like, oh my goodness. Very creative.
Probably went around the table and asked each person, like, what do you think? And the first guy was obviously like, I'd hit the baseball. Boom, just kick back the rest of the day.
Yep.
Got my idea in the bag. Have fun with that one, guys.
Yep. Get to the last guy. What would you do? I would move a fish into a slot that's shaped like a fish.
Right.
Maybe push some toast down into a toaster. You can use your hand. I guess
crazy ideas.
Brush my teeth.
Up with that for sure.
Very creative folk, without a doubt.
I'd like to think that the developers are not stuffy.
No.
Imagine if they were like wicked stuffy.
Super snooty.
Not fun. Yeah, like you build this funny game, but like really, in real life, you suck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I just think they're just probably a fun group of people, and they took what worked in mobile and said, you know what, we can do this with a bat and put it in VR. And they did. I don't know how long it took. I'll say 1.5 years, 2 years.
That's what we've heard about a lot of games. I mean, I love to see that a developer who had success on another platform was attracted by VR. That's a huge
There's
positive
a few
sign.
mobile app developers that are seeing the VR light, you could say.
Mm-hmm. You know, a game
and
that
as more of them come over, then more will come over.
And like we talked to Ben Olding, there's also the former Flash developers. He said that he was surprised he doesn't see more of those. You know, I think that's inevitable.
That sounded like a calling to Flash developers to really, like, hey,
where are my folk?
Get them, come over to the side.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
See the new
that's
light?
an area where there was some real serious talent. Like, there was some
Dude.
Flash games that were like, damn, dude, these are legit better than some console games.
Dude, some of them with especially strategy Flash games, some of them were like really, really deep.
So if any of them come over to the VR world, we can expect some pretty complex shit coming.
And same
especially with the liberties that they get, you know.
Well, and then you think of these app developers, this is probably why the game didn't have any bugs. It's like they're used to working on mobile chipsets, like optimizing games, like poof.
Yeah.
They've been doing that since day one. So it's like I think we'll see that the app, you know, the app developers that come over, I think are going to make really polished games because it's like, oh, just another day in the office making a VR.
That means more tower defense games coming someday. So,
dude, I say it all the time. Where's my strategy games? Where's my Civilization? I don't know why.
It's just not there.
I just don't. Of all games, Civilization is on the phone. You can get it. You can play it on your iPhone. No glitches, no bugs.
To me,
nothing.
anything that's on an iPhone could easily be not easily, but
but
it could be ported over.
Imagine
with probably less complexity than starting from scratch.
Oh, dude, I would love to face you in Civilization in VR. I would love it.
There's a lot of games I think could be brought over, but I'm even we're always saying board games too. So
yeah, board games. Yeah, we got all on board, but you know we've said our words on that previously. We don't need
wait on that one.
Yeah, skeptical
but
hippo eyes.
The BAP franchise? I mean, they're starting their brand in VR. So
wouldn't it be interesting if we talked to them? They're like, oh yeah, no more levels. We're making whatever next.
What, the tennis racket?
Damn. No, there definitely has to be more stuff coming. But nonetheless, so we'll take our little ad break and then we'll go into our final thoughts and rating. If you hate ads, you know, go join our Patreon server and get the ad-free feed. Also, in the meantime, you know, you can also check out our official subreddit, our official Discord. You know, the Discord has been popping. People hosted
their own game nights.
Yeah, their own game nights now. I was like, oh damn, we got almost a full Among Us meetup, and me and you weren't even in it. It's like it's pretty cool to see.
We weren't invited. We weren't allowed.
It's pretty cool to see. So the Discord's been a lot of fun. And you know, I mentioned the Patreon server. Not only do we have ad-free feeds, we have a whole bunch of different, you know, member perks that you can go take a look at. And if you want to help us on our never-ending quest to one day be full-time VR podcasters, because as of now we are not. So if you want to help us on that journey, go check that out and check out in just a minute. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code Ruff Talk VR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered.
Hey everyone, welcome to Fresh Ball Fall. It's the season of pumpkin spice and making sure your crotch looks nice. That means sipping cider in the fall breeze and using Manscaped products to trim your balls with ease. That's right, today's show is brought to you by Manscaped, a company here to make sure that your foliage isn't the only thing shedding its excess leaves. Heck, even Mother Nature knows it's time to lose the excess clutter for fall. Join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code Ruff Talk VR. Whether you're brand new or already with us at Manscaped, you could use the crown jewel of care for your family jewels, the Platinum Package 4.0. With this glorious package, you can align your entire hygiene routine all in one swoop. Inside the 10 Platinum Package is everything you know and love about the Performance Package, plus some shower goodies included to elevate your grooming game to platinum. The Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer and Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer feature proprietary advanced skin-safe technology to protect your delicate parts and holes. Both are waterproof so you can keep scaping even as the weather's change. In addition to shaving, you can now completely upgrade your shower routine with the Ultra Premium Body Wash and Ultra Premium 2-in-1 Shampoo plus Conditioner. You'll have your skin and hair feeling hydrated and smelling fresh. Don't forget to apply their aluminum-free ultra premium deodorant, and don't worry, it's not pumpkin spice, it's a cologne quality fragrance. But we shouldn't have a signature scent for our pets. Use Crop Preserver, Ball Deodorant, and Crop Reviver, Ball Toner to make sure your go-to smell is top shelf and not sweaty balls. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts for their Platinum Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and Shed Travel Bag, both specifically made to hold your goodies. Get the Platinum Package this fall. These products are guaranteed to be hits for your dangly bits. Go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com when you use the code RuffTalkVR. Manscaped, clear out the leaves. It's your tree trunk's time to shine. Today's episode is sponsored by True Classic. Guys, let's get real for a second. Your significant other will be way less upset about your gaming streak if you're looking fine as hell while you play. Finding that perfect fitting t-shirt can be a terrible experience. The thing is either way too tight, has a case of bacon neck, or is just plain big and boxy. Luckily, True Classic makes quality clothing for every guy. Whether you're on VR, PC, Xbox, PS5, or yes, even the Wii, they've made finding that perfect fit easy with their formula. A closer fit in the arms and chest to show off your muscles. We know you're getting a workout while gaming. Let those toned arms shine. Plus, they leave wiggle room in the torso to keep things cozy. All of their styles are super soft, and it's a great price for what you're getting. So guys, no excuses. Don't be a noob. Get rid of those ratty t-shirts I know that you've been hanging on to for years and get ready to upgrade. We have an exclusive deal for our listeners. We want to hook you up with some True Classic. For a limited time only, get 20% off with the code RuffTalkVR at trueclassic.com. Almost all men's t-shirts are designed to look good on a certain body type. Think skinny models with six-packs or Dscruffles over here. But most of us aren't packing anything but a few beers, and there's nothing wrong with that. My dudes, it's simple. You are wearing the wrong clothes. True Classics tees taper off towards the bottom, but they fit tighter around the chest and shoulders. You can throw on that True Classic with confidence, knowing they've got your bases covered. True Classic is much more than just a t-shirt company. They have all the menswear staples you could need, from polos and workout shirts with the same flattering fit to boxer briefs that'll keep your boys feeling nice and comfortable. And for any of the big boys out there, they have tall sizing and up to XXL on all their staple colors. True Classic will make you feel your best by accentuating the places the eye goes to first. Wink, wink. Whether you have abs or a delicious, soft, creamy center, their clothes look great on all body types. Skinny guys, big guys, buff guys, gaming guys, True Classic has you covered. Get comfortable, get going, and upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com with the code word RuffTalkVR. Free shipping included on purchases over $100. 100% risk-free guarantee with a 30-day return policy. True Classic. When you look good, you feel good.
And we're back from our ad break. So if
Yay.
Or maybe you're on the Patreon, you're ad free and you didn't listen to any ads.
There was no ad.
There was no ads. It's just
What ad?
was a quick skip. But like I always say for our rating system, we do 5 categories. We go gameplay, aesthetics, functionality, replayability, and value. Broken down each 1 to 20 with the total score making up the total score. So you went last week. I'll start this week. Starting with gameplay, I kind of alluded to it earlier in the episode. You know, I didn't mean to drop spoilers, but gameplay for me is a clean 20. I think going out for what they were looking to accomplish, you know, you sit there and you go, I'm going to make a whole game where my arms are bats. What can I do? They knocked it out of the park. You know, I mean, they did a great job with that. There's a great puzzle variety. They were all fun. I had a hilarious time playing it. So I think it's a no-brainer 20 for gameplay. Aesthetics, I'm going to give them a 15. And there was even that little bit of me that was like, do I give them a 20 because they nail how the game should feel for this style of game so well? In the end, I ended up with a 15. The graphics aren't the best on the store ever, but they're good. The sound score is amazing. The overall feel of the game, you know, how you feel when you're playing it, you're going to feel happy, you're going to laugh, you're going to have a good time. So aesthetically, they nailed it. You know, not enough to get a 20, but damn, there was that little part of me that was on the fence going back and forth. But, you know, 15 on aesthetics. Functionality, that's another category that they nailed. Like we said before, I didn't have a single glitch issue. There was nothing where it was like, oh, the game's not functioning how it should. I mean, if anything, maybe have because they do give you a good amount of settings, but maybe have like a aim assist option to turn off, because that was a little generous, but that's nothing wrong with the game. That's nothing not functioning correct. No bugs, no issues there. So 20 on functionality. Replayability, I'm going to sound like an asshole, you know, I'm going to sound like a mean guy, but it's just the reality is, if you play through this game, there's no reason to go back at all, you know? But this style of game, I actually believe that there should be reason to go back, you know, namely in 3-star systems, you know, challenges, things like that. I think that it'd be a very, I don't want to use the word easy, because that's not fair for me as a non-developer to say, oh, it'd be so easy. But yeah, like I said before, if there was a 3-star system for these rounds and some bonus challenges and stuff like that, I don't even know if I'd be done with the game yet, because I'd be, you know, I'd be working to get 3 stars on all of them versus just blowing through in it. You know, that would be a way to extend the playtime of the game without even adding more content. So replayability, sorry guys, I got to give this a 5 on replayability. The replayability comes to like showing other people it and introducing them to VR and everything like that, or, you know, sharing it with a nephew, a niece, something like that, your kid, whatever. But there's no reason to go back, but there easily could be, you know. But, you know, I don't want to harp on it forever. So replayability, I'm going to give them a 5. And value, I'm going to give them a 10. You know, everything in the game is great. If money's not an issue to you, $25 is whatever. You know, that's chump change, whatever. Then boom, yeah, of course the game's worth it. If you have to be a little bit smarter with your purchases, that's where my, you know, that's where my hesitancy. I don't want to sit here and scream that, you know, this is a must own and everything like that, and somebody only can buy a couple games a year. You know, they got that 25, and then boom, they get this and they go, wow, I was really lied to. So, you know, value, I'm giving a 10. Not the most expensive game on the store, but definitely not the cheapest. I think, you know, even what you said, $14.99. You know, I was being a little mean saying $9.99, but the game has a full original sound score. You know, who knows how cheap that stuff is, and of course, everybody deserves to eat. We talk about it all the time. It's hard to price your own product, and who are we to come in here and go, that's not worth it? You know, I just want to be honest with the people who take our opinions for, you know, with a grain of salt, or with value, you know. So value, yeah, I'm giving a 10. But it was a great game in the end. So, I mean, 20, 20, 15, 15, and 10, I'm giving a total of 70. But it was a great game. I had a blast with it. You know, geez, even if they could add a rating system and bump up the replayability to a 15, that's an 80 right there, you know, plus more content. So it has room to grow, definitely.
I mean, if we were able to put it in the puzzle category, it would have fared better.
Yeah, I just don't think it's enough of a puzzle game only to do you like there's some levels that are puzzles, but a lot of it's more like mini
No,
gamey.
that was the only thing that I could think in my own head. I was like, oh, it kind of sucks because it's on that cusp of not needing to be replayed.
Yeah.
But it does fall into the category. So, I mean,
Although then we would replace value with difficulty. I'm sorry, replayability with difficulty. The
correct.
game wasn't the most difficult either.
No.
So it would have fared a little bit better, but I don't know if there's no like difficulty sliders or aim assist off. But I'll let you go now. I'm sorry, it's your turn.
So we're really not too far off base. It's kind of weird. Gameplay, I do agree. I give it a 20. I think the overall experience is damn good. Conceptually, I never would have thought of it. Baseball bat hands. So I mean, it's fun. I laughed. I had fun. I was never frustrated or upset, playing it. So it was a good time. Aesthetics, verbatim what you said. I can't argue with anything you said. It all the total package works. Each thing they're bringing, the graphics, the gameplay, the music, and the sound score, it all comes together really well. So I'd give them a 15. Definitely not a 20. If the graphics were, not photorealism, but a little tighter, maybe. But no, 15 sounds fair. Functionality, couldn't find nothing wrong. I mean, 100 levels, figures sooner or later something's got to go wrong, and nothing did. I mean, even me having to swing from the top of my head. But if something were to go wrong, I would blame that on the controllers, not the not the game design. So I'd give them a 20. Replayability, I mean, it is what it is. It's a 5. I was shocked when you said 5 because I was like, oh shit, we pretty much said the same thing there. And value for money, I put it as a 10. Kind of half of what it would be if it was like a steal deal at, your $9.99 or $14.99 would probably even get it like the, 15. But I would give it a 10. So a 20, a 15, a 20, a 5, and a 10.
Ending with, what's the total score there?
Oh shit, I'm sorry, I didn't even add it up.
And I read my scores. My final, I said something was an extra 15. That wasn't. Don't ask why. I just read. My final score was 20, 15, 20, 5, and 10. But if somebody goes back and listens when I read them off real quick, I read it wrong.
Oh, so they got a 70.
70 as well. So
Yeah.
2 70s from both of us.
Yeah.
Look at that. Boom. Ching chow. Not bad. I mean,
I
the
did
game's
that without looking at my reading glasses too. That was a pain.
right. I saw that. But the game was good. I we nailed them on the same spots. It's like, oh, if there was a reason to go back in, and honestly, if there was, that would absolutely help the value as well too.
I won't say like run out and go buy it, but if you see it on sale, buy it.
Yeah,
don't even question it. It'll be worth it.
If you're looking for a family-friendly game too, that everybody can enjoy, this is it. This is a great one. Everybody can take turns on it. You don't spoil with puzzles, but after you've done it,
it's a word of mouther.
Yeah, and it'd be cool. It'd be a cool one to watch somebody do while casting. Like example, you're sitting on the couch, you're letting your friend do it or whatever.
Yeah.
So you already know the puzzles, you've already done them, but now you can watch them, try it too. You'll be like, oh man. So, no, hats off. I mean, the game was good. What the bat? How do you make a game based off of all bat arms? Well, they did it. It was fun. It was enjoyable. We've said our only criticisms enough. I don't want to sound negative on them because, like I keep saying, it's a great game. So, hats off to them, and stay tuned for next week. We're remote on Monday's episode. We're remote today. Like I said, life happens, but like you keep hearing me say, there ain't no stopping us. So, We'll be back in the studio next week, both together. That's more normal for us. It doesn't feel right,
No, I don't like it.
No, we still had a fun time. Still was good, but we're an in studio podcast for sure.
Correct.
All right, like I said, stay tuned for next week. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you listen on, and go check out that Discord, that Patreon, all that fun stuff. You can find that info right in our show notes or episode description, and check you out next week. Ciao,
Take
ciao.
care.